Let us now consider the last two enterobacteriaceae, which is Shigella and also Salmonella. There are 4 types of Shigella species, which is Shigella boydii, Shigella dysenteriae, Shigella flexneri, and Shigella sonnei. But the most common pathogenic Shigella, it is the Shigella dysenteriae. Characteristics: these are the same characteristics that all the gram-negative rods has, which is facultative anaerobe, catarase positive, oxidase negative. It ferments lactose, but it is lac negative, meaning it does not ferment lactose. It is a gram-negative rod. So this is the general characteristic, the general feature of the Shigella. Let's talk about the virulence factor that it has. It has the gender that each gram-negative has, which is lipid A. The lipid A, it is responsible for producing the endotoxin, such as Shigella toxin. Since we are talking about Shigella, Shigella contains the endotoxin known as Shigella toxin. It also have the O antigen. So these two virulence factors are the components of lipopolysaccharide. This is lipopolysaccharide. What other virulence factor? It is the K antigen. This K antigen, it is produced by the capsule. Then H antigen by the flagella. So any gram-negative bacteria with the flagella, it has this H antigen and also the type 3 secretion protein it produces. This type 3 secretion protein, it is the syringe which each enterobacteriaceae uses in order to inject its toxin into the host. Shigella flexneri, it has no flagella. This means that it doesn't have the H antigen. What are some of the clinical features of the Shigella? Clinical manifestation: it causes dysentery. Okay, dysentery just meaning diarrhea with vomiting. Diarrhea with vomiting. Blood in stool, and also pus can be seen in stool. Shigella can also cause hemolytic uremic syndrome, which can become as a result when the Shigella toxin goes to the glomerular cells of the kidney. The pathogenesis of Shigella, it is similar to enterohemorrhagic E. coli. Why are they similar? Because they both produce the same toxin, which is the Shigella toxin. Shigella toxin. So the bacteria, which is the Shigella, it attaches the cell, which is the epithelial cells of the intestine. Then it enters the M cells, where inside the M cells there are macrophage. The macrophage phagocytose the Shigella bacteria. Then it escapes from the macrophage. After escaping, then it enters the epithelial mucosa lining, entering the cells inside. Then inside the cell, it uses the type 3 circulation protein to cause the pathological infections, pathological conditions. Then it does not only inject its toxins, but it also moves to adjacent cells. When it moving the adjacent cells, it binds to where? To the ribosome, which is the rRNA, ribosome RNA. When it binds to the ribosome RNA, what does it do? It inhibits protein synthesis, which this result in cell death. So this is how the Shigella can cause infection. The next one, it is the Salmonella. So the next one, it is the Salmonella. There are two types of Salmonella species, Salmonella intellica and Salmonella bongoli. The most common one, it is the Salmonella intellica. Okay, Salmonella intellica. What is the characteristics? It is the general characteristics of all the enterobacteriaceae: catarase positive, oxidase negative, facultative anaerobe, they ferment glucose, but Salmonella does not ferment lactose, just like Shigella. What is the two types of Salmonella intellica? There are Salmonella typhi and Salmonella paratyphi. Then the virulence factor, we have the capsule which produces the K antigen, okay? We have the endotoxins, which is being produced by the lipid A of the lipopolysaccharide. We also know that the lipopolysaccharide has another antigen known as the O antigen. Also the flagella, it does not only help the cell to move, but also serves as a virulence factor. It produces the H antigen, H antigen, and the lipopolysaccharide, which has the O antigen, and the lipid A, which the lipid A produces the endotoxin. What is the type of endotoxin that is being produced by Salmonella? Salmonella produces a various number of toxins, of which those toxins are just grouped as Salmonella intellica toxins. Then the clinical features, it can cause paratyphi and typhi fever. So paratyphi, it is caused by Salmonella paratyphi. Then typhi, it is caused by Salmonella typhi. This typhi, it is diarrhea, with fever. Diarrhea with fever. This is what it means. Typhoid fever. It is diarrhea with fever. But these two, they are almost just the same. But the only difference is typhoid fever, it is most severe than palatine. It causes watery diarrhea, and also it can infect the bloodstream, cause bacteremia. Okay, and it can cause septicemia. What is the pathogenesis? It attaches the cell using the fimbria, which is the adhesive molecule. Then it is endocytosed in the M cells. There in the M cells enters the macrophage, escape the macrophage. It enters the endothelial cells, moving through the endothelial cells, releasing toxins, hence damaging the cells, the epithelial cells. Which can lead to abdominal pain. Thank you so much for watching my video. This is the last video for the enterobacteriaceae. So if you like this video, please subscribe. You can click the bell icon and share the video so that even others can benefit.